Yes, sir. You are looking at the redeveloped Mervish Village. The brand new apartments. As you can see, it's coming. It's really looking close to being finished. In fact, I think this all should be wrapped up by next year on the site of Honest Ed's. Yes, it was a former discount store that had a pretty interesting impact on our city. It had some amazing old school stuff and vintage paraphernalia and all that stuff. But Honest Ed's closed down in 2016, so almost 6 years ago. Well, yeah, guys, Alex here at the intersection of Bloor Street West and Bathurst Street here in the northwest end of Toronto's downtown core. It's a beautiful sunny Wednesday afternoon, today being December the 21st, 2022. And I filmed a walking video on Dufferin Street not too long ago. I took the streetcar and bus down here. Of course, I got off the 7 route. And despite that it's 2 Celsius outside, it feels like -2. I'm wearing a winter coat, and surprisingly, my hands are not even frozen. Not like yesterday when I met my friend at the Winter Village. But yeah, I gotta do a little walking video along Bloor Street here and take it all the way to Yonge. I don't remember the last time I did a walking video on this street. I know I've done it like sometime in was it the fall or is it late summer? I can't remember, but I just made this last minute decision to come down here, and we might as well gonna do that. And Bloor Street, of course, it is one of our quote-unquote main streets here in Toronto. Bloor pretty much runs east-west, cutting across the north end of downtown from Etobicoke in the west, actually at Mississauga, the neighboring city to the west, then through Etobicoke and down here. And then it becomes Danforth Avenue at the viaduct right by Broadview Avenue, and so on. Look at that, a limo. And Bloor Street has recently received some infrastructure updates, as you can clearly see. I mean, I think they had this bike lane for about 2 years, but I think they also did some resurfacing as well. But yeah, it's a pretty busy day for everyone, as it's only 4 days before Christmas, and everyone's kind of in a mad dash to do some last-minute Christmas shopping. As for me, though, I wanted to take advantage of today because tomorrow we're gonna get a pretty nasty storm. It's gonna be another mix of rain and snow, kind of like last week, but it's probably gonna be a lot worse. That's what the news said. So really, I'm just gonna take today as the advantage for me to do some filming around the city, because what if I don't get to tomorrow or Friday or even Saturday? Saturday is Christmas Eve, so I'm gonna be going to my dad's family for that, and then I'll be spending a few hours with them for Christmas Day, and then I'll be back at home where I'm gonna have my cousins Emily and Andrew, their parents, over. Of course, no matter where you walk on Bloor, it's always an interesting vibe, that's for sure. As we're in the Annex neighborhood, here's Brunswick Avenue. There's a lot of frickin' pigeons here. I sure hope I don't get pooped on. That has never happened to me before, thank God. But it would be kind of embarrassing if that shit actually happened. So yeah, we're currently walking on the north side of Bloor here. Here's one of my cousin Richard's favorite places to go to. Books, music, video. I've been here countless times, especially with him. I think the main reason Richard goes there, I didn't know he used to stay there the other day, but I didn't go with him. Clearly you can see, of course, you got the wide variety of like books, and comics, pretty much any of that literature stuff. But the main reason Richard would go here is because he has like a huge comic collection, and all the comics are on the 3rd floor, so he and I would pretty much go there. I have comics, but I don't really read them anymore like he does. but I mean, like he does have a huge ass collection. So what's the time right now? I think it's before 2. No, it's 1:45. So quarter to 2. There's a nice little mural here. Drake. Here's Walmer Road. There's an entrance to Spadina Station just to the block north of here. Of course, the Bloor Danforth subway line predominantly runs a block north of here, running underneath so many damn houses and apartment buildings. Look, there's the entrance right there. That goes down to the Line 2 station. And look at that, there's the CN Tower in the distance. This is pretty much the last day of like clear and beautiful weather we're gonna see until that friggin' storm hits. So make use of it, because I don't even know when it's gonna be like this again. Hopefully next week, because I'm going to Niagara Falls, so I want to try and catch some older Orion buses operated by Niagara Falls Transit before Niagara Falls Transit becomes Niagara Region Transit among St. Catharines and Welland Transit. It's very like the merger of YRT and DRT. And here is Spadina Avenue. And of course, south of here, or further south, is Chinatown. That starts at College. South of here is pretty much South Annex and Harvard Village. Bloor's like Yonge Street. It's always very vibrant, filled with foot traffic and whatnot. Of course, you got the subway lines as well. And of course, the main heart of it all is at Yonge and Bloor, which is where I'm going to be ending this video. And yeah, here's the main entrance to Spadina Station. I was there the other day. Actually, no, I was there last week as I filmed a video on the 127 route. And of course, you got the Spadina streetcar. Well, it used to be called the Spadina LRT when it opened in the 90s. But TT's like, the hell with it. Just call it a streetcar line, as they did. I feel like the lighting is just so bright. It's not really catching like the CN Tower the minute I point it. The minute I point to it. I don't know. I'm gonna cross over to the other side at St. George Street at the University of Toronto campus. Yes, we are now on my grounds. And yes, this may look so familiar to you and me, because you know I am a U of T student, and a lot of my times I would spend it at Robarts, which is down the street from here. Well, if you make a right on St. George, the university is closed for the holidays, so pretty much like 2-3 times a week I would come after class, just go down here, bring my laptop, and just do some work, catch up on some readings and stuff. Is this Huron Street or is it the next one down? Yeah, it's the next one down. I don't even know what street that is. I know there's a residence just up ahead with that owl. Of course, this is the St. George campus. This is the University of Toronto schools. And they are rebuilding this church here. Yeah, this is Huron Street. You might catch a glimpse of the Brutalist building as Robarts. Yep, there it is right there. Yes, so I would mostly spend my time studying there. A lot of people say Robarts is actually ugly. In fact, it is. Because, you know, Brutalist architecture. But I love it there. I love the energy and the amount of study spaces it has, and even like it's mostly quiet at times. Like most of the time, it has 14 floors. And for those that probably went to U of T or are U of T students, it's always a fun place to be. I'm not sure if this is another residence. It probably looks like one, considering that there isn't like any balconies. If you see any balconies, then it's probably an apartment building, but actually it is an apartment. Look, Senator David A. Pearl Apartments. I was wrong. Oh, what the hell's going on here? There we go. And there's a Battersea Museum, which I've never been before. Why the hell is it not showing up the lighting here? Look, let me try zooming in and see if I can fix it. Maybe I'll have to change the setting on it, but yeah, here is St. George Street, and of course, right on the corner from here is St. George Subway Station. Pretty much line 1 is stacked on top of line 2. It's an interchange station. I think it's the second busiest subway station in the city. Yep, I would often come in and out of that entrance right there and walk down either side to get to the big ass turkey building. And let's see if I can cross over to the other side. But the thing is though, these light cycles are pretty long. Okay, we've got 10 seconds, so I'm just gonna wait out the clock here, as it's now 1:51. And I walk very fast, so it's crazy how I got here in 10 minutes. But it's probably going to take me another 10 minutes to get across to Yonge. Well, if I was still in school right now, which obviously I'm not because the university's closed, I would be just walking down there. But probably a lot of the students have went back to their respective like home countries and sorts, because you know, normally during the academic year, obviously you're going to see a lot of student foot traffic here, but sometimes you can't tell whether like they live on campus or off campus, or they just live in the city in general like me. But judging by like that it's only like the 21st, there's not really a lot of students, and now my camera's at 2 bars. I think the cold likes to drain up, but I have my my cable with me and my battery pack, so I'm going to get this a charge. I am going to film some more. I think when I head over to the East York Borough and film a walking video along Pape Avenue, but I want to film a ride on the 88 route, which circles around Leaside and Thorncliffe Park. By the way, we are now on the south side of Bloor here, and we're going to be approaching the Yorkville neighborhood. It's a very, very high-end neighborhood for eating and shopping and a lot of that stuff. And here's the Varsity Stadium, which is home of the Varsity Blues, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I think I should know. I'm a student here. Yeah, so there's St. George Subway Station. Sometimes I would see this big ass dome right here. I think it's for like indoor sporting events. I don't think there's anything going on right now because, as I just mentioned, the university's closed for the holidays. There's Bedford Road. Fun fact, this condo right here, that's where our softy mayor John Tory lives. Right here. And there's the Center for Performance and Learning. It is definitely not uncommon to see constant traffic along this part of Bloor, because this is pretty much the most busiest part of the street. And here is the Royal Conservatory of Music, which is not a U of T affiliated building. And that crystal building over there, that's the Royal Ontario Museum. It's a unique crystal design developed and architected by Michael Lee Chin in 2007. It's been 4 years since I've been to the ROM. I enjoy going there. It's really been a while. Is that Philosopher's Walk? I think it is, yes. Did a walking video there back in September. And coming up is Avenue Road and Queens Park. Not uncommon to see a lot of tourists roaming around here, because the ROM is indeed a tourist attraction. Cannot wait to be back at the ROM soon. And now we are in the, once we cross over, we'll be in Yorkville, so. I can smell the subway as we just passed the ventilator. That unique Toronto TTC subway smell. And here we are. Look, there's one of the oldest churches in Toronto, I believe. The Church of the Redeemer. And of course, you got the look. I don't want to point at these cars here, but look, there's the CN Tower once again. Of course, up here is the legislative building. And welcome to pretty much the highest expensive neighborhoods here in the city, and it has a lot of these designer shops that none of us can afford, like Louis Vuitton and Dolce & Gabbana. Is Dolce & Gabbana here? I can't even remember, but a lot of the common designer shops that a lot of us are very familiar with. But yeah, this is where the kind of where the rich people go to shop. Maybe some like last minute Christmas gifts here in Yorkville. I do not even know how many times I filmed walking videos along this part of Bloor. Because we're pretty much 5 minutes away from Yonge Street. Of course, you got the hip side of Yorkville, which is to the north of here, of course, right above Bay Subway Station. That is where the hippie movement of Toronto, even Canada, originated, just north of here. Look, more. Look at this. You got Cartier and Prada. Even I can pronounce these names correctly. The checkerboard flooring, which you don't often see in many stores. And Dior. I haven't taken the subway at all today. All I did was I walked and took the bus. That's all I did. It's one of these days again where you go to downtown without having to use the subway. And that's probably a good break because of the recent incidents that have been happening here on the TTC, and the city's not doing anything about it. Glad they arrested that frickin' douchebag who randomly assaulted people at St. Clair Station. Oh man, that was just terrible. Oh my gosh, people who do that should be fucking banned from life. You know that, right? Lock them up. But really, the city needs to invest more in hiring a lot more security and police officers, you know, to patrol in almost every one of their subway stations. Yes, it's still not going to stop me from riding the TTC. But now, you got to just be aware, because there's going to be some idiot or asshole just ruining your day. I'm telling you, the TTC is going to be like the MTA in New York. Oh my god. And here is Bay Street. Bay. And then of course, the next block of here is literally the main street, of course, Yonge. By the way, a lot of people have mentioned this. They think of Bloor Street as like the Fifth Avenue because it really gives us like Fifth Avenue, New York City vibes, and that's actually true. Even though I've never been to New York myself, but it does give off a bit of a New York vibe. We're gonna stay on this side, and then we're gonna cross over at Yonge to where I always pretty much end some walking videos off right outside the unoccupied old Hudson's Bay store. There's a lot of foot traffic here as usual. Look, Italy is right here. A lot more stores. Also just around here is some underground shopping mall that is not the path. But it's just like it's very similar to the path. They pretty much like connect the different office buildings and shopping centers together. Like Cumberland Terrace. I saw on Block TO last night that they have revisited the idea of completely eliminating the old school's 1970s complex. And of course, building a lot more condos here and apartments. I'm gonna keep pointing my camera now because there's so many people here. I don't want to get them on camera. That's just I mean, it's impossible, but you really don't want to be shoving it into people's faces. That's when you're not allowed to film people. Is when you intentionally do that. Nevertheless, you're in fucking public. Don't like the F-bomb? Don't watch. Don't watch. Sometimes it's good to vent out your frustration. That's why we live in Canada. It's a free country. As Elton said, at least we're not in China, Russia, or freaking Cuba. Anyway.
Let us handle your list this year.
There's one Bloor West coming up very, very steady and slowly. It's going to be like it's going to be the tallest skyscraper in the country. I mentioned it a lot of times. And of course, this used to be an old store called Stollery's, which I don't think I've ever been to before. And here we go, Yonge and Bloor. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap the video up and charge my camera. I'm going to take a little break, of course, so might get a drink, maybe some water, because I haven't had any water today. And we don't get a scramble crossing. Yeah, and there it is, the always interesting Yonge Street.
Where's your office?
We are...
And as I've probably mentioned a lot of times, that used to be the old Hudson's Bay Bloor Yonge store. Closed way back in May, mainly due to COVID and unpaid rent. But it was pretty much my favorite Hudson's Bay store. It was very old school, vintage, charming. But there we got the scramble crossing. Oh shit, almost tripped. Yeah guys, we made it here to Yonge and Bloor. Pretty much one of the busiest intersections of the city. And I'm gonna wrap it up. So guys, I wanna thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. As always, stay tuned for more videos. I check out my videos as well. And if you want to support the channel, you like what I do, feel free to donate on my PayPal or on the super thanks button below the video. And I want to wish you guys best wishes this holiday season. Merry Christmas and Happy Hanukkah and Happy New Year. And yes, the year ends in exactly 10 days. And stay tuned for more. Coming up to the very last day and the final countdown. Stay safe, everyone, and stay warm. Take care. Adios. Bye-bye.